Hey fam, it is your girl, the one and the only Spicy, and I'm here today with another pick a card tarot reading. The reading for today, the question that I will be asking is, how is your life going to amaze you? So I just felt like it's nice to kind of open up these readings again and just to start from a place of positive expectancy about the future and just what is to come. So how this reading works is you can pause the video right here and you can choose whichever deck, whether it's pile 1, which is the Muse Tarot with the Amethyst Crystal, pile 2, which is the Tinseltown Tarot with the Rose Quartz, and then also pile 3, which is the Modern Witch Tarot deck with the Citrine Crystal. But you can pause this video right here, look at the description box, click the timestamp that correlates with your video, and it'll take you directly there. But yeah, y'all, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to read, and let's get started. All right, fam. If you chose pile 1, which is the Muse Tarot deck with the Amethyst Crystal, I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading right now. Please make sure you check out the additional information that is within the description box. If you would like to send any monetary contributions, donations, oracle decks, tarot decks, then you have that information there as far as my P.O. box and even my PayPal. If you would like to check out my new line of 3D and hand painted gel press on nails, definitely make sure you go to wavylady.net. That information is also in the description box. And last but not least, if you would like a personal or private reading from me, that information is there as well. You definitely want to make sure that you book a spot and get onto my scheduler as soon as possible, because your girl is productive. She's productive. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be asking, how is your life going to amaze you? How's your life going to amaze you? Yeah, y'all, I hope y'all are blessed, because we really about to find out. We're really about to find out how your life is going to amaze you. So first I wanted to look at, like, where are you currently right now? Like, a lot of y'all, I feel like, like, if you got this first pile, I feel like that you are blessed. And I feel like you also know that you're favored. I feel like the way other people see you, and just the perception that you give off is someone who's really just kind of like unbothered, or maybe somebody who even lives an easy life. And I'm not trying to say that your life is easy. I'm not jumping to that conclusion, but I feel like the perception of other people is like you could really just still be blessed on your worst day. Like, you're still favored on your worst day. Like, you have the opportunity to take rest if you need to. You have the opportunity to do some self-care if you need to. Like, even in periods of time where you may not be in communication with people, it might seem as though, oh, this person must just be resting. They must just be living life, just kind of going here or there with not too many responsibilities or too many daily requirements. Now, you personally right now could be in a period of rest. You could be taking a break. But I don't want to jump and say that it's like you don't put any work into what you're doing, or you're just living an easy life. I feel like a lot of what you do, and like, and who you are, it is really dependent on you having a faith-based mindset, of you having this wishful thinking, of you hoping, and just looking out into the future. Like, just look at how she looks on this star card. She's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just that type of energy that you might carry, where there's like always some type of longing, or you're hoping for something, you're wishing for something, or things are always, working in your favor, even when you think they don't. Even when you think they don't, it's like things are constantly working out in your favor. And the crazy thing about this is, I feel like it's your own, I feel like you're taking your own path. Like you're creating something new. You're doing something that is, you know, unconventional. You're starting something new. You know what I'm saying? So you could be an entrepreneur. You could be starting a new relationship, starting a new friendship, starting a new job. It's just something new that you're starting. Or you could even be that person in your family that just decided to do something different. So you're just you could be a trailblazer, someone who's doing something different. So I feel like at points in time, this is going to require you having to have those periods of rest because you're expending so much energy in a completely other direction as opposed to just going along with the stream, going along with what other people are doing. So it's like at this point in time in your life, regardless if you know it or not, you're being watched. You know, there's a lot of attention on you. People want to know what's going on with you. People want to know what it is that you're doing, especially when you take these time to focus on yourself, or when you take time to you know, just kind of give yourself a break, and just give yourself a rest and figure out where you're gonna go next. Like what is it that you're gonna do next? Like what are you gonna envision next for yourself? I feel like that's kind of where you are right now. But you could be in a time period now where it's just kind of like things have kind of plateaued in your life. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like things may seem as though they're not getting better, but they also may not be getting significantly worse either. You're kind of plateauing. You're just kind of plateauing in life right now. But for the most part, I feel like you all are whatever it is that you're doing, like regardless of if your life is plateauing or not, is like you are very emotionally tied to this thing. I think this is something that brings you a lot of emotional, you know, satisfaction, regardless of the amount of energy that you have to expend, the unconventionality of your idea of whatever it is that you're doing. I think that this is something that, you know, you really you love. If this is you being in a relationship with someone, wishful thinking, hoping, having some type of faith that the relationship works out, I feel like there's a lot of emotion that's tied to this thing as well. So whatever this new thing is that you're starting, like I said, you could be starting a new career, starting a new project, a new creative idea, starting a new relationship, like whatever this thing is. I feel like it might be completely different from what you might have thought and from what other people might expect from you. But I do feel like there's something with your mindset that just helps you to continue to keep pushing forward. And there's something with your mindset that helps you to, it's like a limitless type of attitude and thinking. But it also is a type of attitude to where it's like you're gonna want to do things that are gonna bring you that great emotional satisfaction. So that's where you currently are within yourself right now. If you resonate with this pile, okay. So we're gonna look at, you know, how things will change. And mind you, this is a reading that's we're looking at positive expectancy. Okay, we're looking at positive expectancy, and we're not looking for nothing less. So how will things continue to change for you? So we have the Three of Inspiration. We have the Three of Inspiration. So it seems like if you're in a period of, you know, it feels like you might be stagnant. It feels like you might be stuck. It feels like you're not really, like I said, things may not be getting better. Things may not be getting worse. I think that there's going to be some patience. Okay, there's going to be some patience that you're going to have, and it's easier said than done. Okay. Having patience is easier said than done. But I do think that during this time of patience, it really depends on how you wait. Now I do see that other people are observing you. So I feel like the best thing that you can do is just don't make any sudden movements. Okay. Don't make any sudden movements. Just wait, be patient, and stay focused. I feel like a lot of you all have put so much work out there that you're coming to a place of waiting for these things to finally, you know, boomerang back to you, like the work that you really put out there for you to start to see the fruits of your labor. And it seems like you would be on the way there. I literally said it seems like you would be on the way there. I see the Knight of Pentacles, and I also see the Knight of Emotions. So I do feel like if you've experienced some type of satisfactory feelings while you've been waiting, and I think it's because you're so emotionally tied to whatever result it is that you want, you know, the things that you want to see come about in your life, you know, it becomes tough because it's like you're so emotionally involved and tied to those things that, you know, it may make you feel some type of way if things aren't progressing. You know what I'm saying? But here we have the fact that, I mean, you're being patient, but then we also have, or asked to being patient, but rightfully so, because now you have, you know, more opportunity coming in. So if you're someone who is, you know, on your entrepreneurial kick, or someone who's a business owner, and it doesn't just have to be just that, you know, but whenever I see the Pentacles, it makes me think about home, stability, and money. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so, when I see the Knight of Cups, it makes me think about love. It makes me think about emotion. It makes me think about what I kind of got was intelligence as well, emotional intelligence. But yeah, I feel like this waiting is necessary for you, and how your life is going to change is you're really going to be given so many opportunities that are going to, and I said you were starting something new. So you're going to be really experiencing some new opportunities that push you ahead and push you a lot further than where you are. So you're in a period of you're in a period of a plateau right now. I kind of see that things are kind of flat, if that makes sense. But just understanding that the fruits of your labor are really gonna come back, and it's gonna push you a lot further than you thought, than where you thought you would be, you know. So if you've been, for example, working on a relationship, or working on your emotional intelligence, working on any toxic behaviors, if you've been working on working as far as expelling those behaviors, if you've been working on self-love, if you've been like anything that you have been working on, just understand that you'll have these opportunities, or these things that will show up in your life that will help to push you a lot further. So definitely stay tuned for that. But I do think that because things are kind of like at a plateau right now, that you will be in a better position to kind of notice what those opportunities are. But it's definitely going to have to be onto you to take them. You know, you're going to have the opportunity to notice, because it's like, it seems like nothing else is going to be going on, and then boom, someone says something, or boom, you know, something happens to where it's like, wow, this is a great opportunity. I should probably take this thing. So yeah, you'll have some opportunities coming to you. I want to see what else you can expect. Like, what else you can expect from these things. So with the Four of Inspiration, you can definitely expect some type of what I kind of heard was, I don't know, I always hear these words. I heard like recalibration. So I feel like you should expect things to get back on track, or just in a way that's gonna make you feel like okay. You know what I'm trying to say? It's going to make you feel okay with the changes that are happening, with these opportunities that are happening. So it's like through these new things, you know, being presented in your life, I feel like you would have what I kind of heard too was a sense of belonging. And I don't know what that means to someone, but it's just like a sense of belonging. So it could be community. It could be some type of, you know, feeling of stability, a feeling of, you know, being at home. You know what I'm trying to say? Being at home, being at peace. But for some reason I heard sense of belonging as well. So maybe you felt, oh yeah, that could definitely make sense with you being an unconventional person, or deciding to choose a different path for yourself that other people may not have expected for you. I do feel like when these new opportunities present themselves and you take them, they materialize in your life and take you a lot further than where, you know, you are. I feel like you'll finally, you know, experience a sense of belonging, or understanding like that this really all made sense, you know, like the whole thing made sense. So So yeah, that's amazing. For y'all too, that if this has to do with a relationship, or if this is what you're looking at this reading for, if it's for love, then you should definitely be expecting a marriage. Like, there are a lot of cards here that signify, you know, some type of romance, even an opportunity, maybe even engagement of marriage. So that's something that y'all could be looking forward to as well, if that's what you want for yourself. What else can you expect? So you all got the Five of Swords. So I definitely feel as though you can expect, like, I'm gonna get some clarification too for this card. Let's see what we have. Okay, so you can expect to not have to what I heard was struggling, or not really have to feel like there's not enough, like the feelings of not enoughness. But I don't know if it's really like feelings of not enoughness within yourself, or feeling like you don't have enough, like enough actual tangible resources, like enough in front of you, you know. So for some of y'all, I feel like not only would you be it's not like lack within yourself, but I feel like I'm saying, it's like not having the resources that you need or something. And I really feel like that's why these opportunities are really going to come in and change things, because it's really going to help you see that, like, no, like, you really do have all you need and that you're settled. So whatever issue or problem that you all are experiencing now, and it might not even be like an actual problem, it might just be something that you're worrying about. I would tell you really not to worry, because it seems as though as you continue to wait, you'll see that there will be peak opportunities and things that will really come in that is really going to, you know, change the trajectory of your life, and to help you to feel a lot more, what is it? It's like self-confident. It'll help you to feel like you can really accomplish anything. It'll all make sense. Like, the you putting out this, you know, this faith-based attitude, or this mindset, or this hope and this wishful thinking, despite what's going on right now, it's kind of all gonna make sense. And you're gonna kind of look back on those times where you were, you know, maybe manifesting or meditating, or, you know, thinking about these things. You're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, I'm glad I put in that work and put the energy forth in that direction, even if I didn't see the fruits of my labor, or the results, or the things that I wanted to see. It's like you're gonna look back and be like, I'm glad I put energy moving forward in that direction, even though I didn't see these things. And now I see these, and now I know that I have the power to go off into any direction. Now I know that I don't have to fight for resources, or I don't feel like I have to be in competition with anybody, or I don't feel like I have to manipulate or deceive anybody. Now I can go my way, like, which is nice. And I just want to get one more card just to even this out. And then we also have the Chariot. So the Chariot is a fast moving type of energy. There's a lot of movement. And there's a lot of movement. So I feel like one of the things that, you know, is really going to amaze you within your life is just how far you've gone, even in a short amount of time. It's like you really are really going to be accomplishing a lot of things in a short amount of time. You know, when the fruits of your labor really do come back to you, it's like things are going to be moving very quickly, very fast for you. You're going to have the ability to go in literally any different direction that you want to go in. You're going to be starting new things, new projects. You're going to have new opportunities. And it's really just going to come from your sense of confidence. I think that you're really going to have that confidence and the knowing that, you know, you can really accomplish anything that you want to accomplish in this life. So it's like, you're going to go from literally from a period of things kind of being plateau to like literally things being on the up and up. So that's really how your life is going to amaze you. So I will probably enjoy this period of rest for now, because things seem like they're really going to be turning up, and you're going to be going in a different direction in your life. And you're going to have the strength to literally do it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have the strength to do it. And which is nice. And I still see some star energy around here as well. So, you know, if you are someone who aspires to be a celebrity, aspires to be well known in your field, I do feel as though that energy right there is gonna help you to even become even more noticed. So you may also have help and people that want to help to kind of push you in that direction as well, because they believe in what you're doing. So that is exciting. Definitely a lot of positive things to look forward to. Look forward to fast movements. Look forward to fast movement. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there, fam. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next reading. All right, fam. If you chose pile 2, which is the Tinseltown Tarot with the rose quartz crystal, I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading today. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. It's very sunny outside, but it's cold. Okay, it is cold. So we're going to be looking at how is your life going to amaze you. I have 3 different questions that I'll be asking. I'm just going to be using the tarot today because it worked out like that for pile 1. And then we will go from there. Okay, so we're looking at currently, like what's going on within yourself. So, all right, so y'all could right now currently be going through a time of disappointment, a time of loss, a time of things not really working out like you thought they would. Now this seems like it has to do with a community of people. It could be a community of people. It could even be your family. It could be a relationship. But it just looks like this period of loss and disappointment is, of course, tied to a person, right? And what in our lives that happens isn't tied to another person. Okay, you feel me? But for the most part, it seems like you all are dealing with the time of just a loss of what you thought was, but it just wasn't. And it could have definitely been abrupt. It could have definitely been a betrayal. And I think that a lot of y'all might not really be in a place right now to where you can see things clearly. You could be experiencing some type of confusion, and not really knowing which direction that you really want to go in because of this loss that has happened to you. Now, what I will say is, even though this has happened, I feel like I do have to give you some props. That's what that's the spirit had me say. Like, I really have to give y'all some props because your emotions could be really all over the place. Like, things could be really all over, but I feel like you've have the ability to be neutral. You know what I'm saying? To not be too emotionally upset, or if you think you've been becoming upset, it's like you're doing better emotionally than you may think that you are. You know what I'm saying? You're doing better emotionally. So some of y'all could be crying. Some of y'all could be drinking a lot of wine because you may not know how to get through this period of time in your life. You may not really know which direction to take when it comes to your life. You might have 2 different options, 2 different courses of action that you could take, and you really just don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't know. But the thing I can say about y'all is that if you chose this pile, is that like you're doing better than what you think you may be doing when it comes to yourself emotionally. So just keep that up. Just keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're not doing as bad as you might think if things are, kind of going on in your life. I feel like this betrayal or this disappointment has caused you to have to move on. Now I do think that this might have to do with like friends or family or some type of communication. What was I going to say? Communication. Some type of community that you are a part of. I feel like whatever did not work out within this place, you may have experienced some type of resentment towards it. But I do feel as though at the end of the day, the best thing that you could have done for yourself was just to move on. And whenever you move on, whenever you move on or decide that you're going to move on, oftentimes it's you're sacrificing that thing in the past for something new that you have not yet seen. So it may be a little difficult because you don't understand what you're moving on to. You don't understand what you're moving on to, but I do feel as though there's something additionally that you feel as though you need. Maybe you need whatever that didn't work out to work out. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you feel as though the best way that you can go about this is by going about it yourself. And that's difficult sometimes when you have a community of people surrounding you, you have family surrounding you, even a relationship, friendships surrounding you, and then it's kind of like people kind of dwindle off one by one, and then it's just like you left standing there. And maybe a lot of what you did depended on the energy of other people. Like maybe y'all work together. And so now that it's just you, it's just kind of like, dang, what's next? Like, where do you actually really go from here? So you might be feeling like feelings of uncertainty that could be contributing to that confusion of just being like, well, am I even making the right move? Am I even doing the right thing? All you know is that you have to keep moving forward. That's literally all you know. All you know is that there's something out there that you want, and you have to open yourself up to the possibility of finding that thing. But it's going to require you to, like, it's going to require you to leave. It's going to require you to have to walk, you know? So especially with this door here, it's just making me think about like a doorway. And especially even too with this path, it's making me think about the pathway as well, as far as you transforming. And, you know, the transformation happening at the darkest part of the day, which is at night. And you can't see what's going on. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't see what's going on. So you kind of have to have that type of faith that even though you might be in the dark about things or how things ended with a specific relationship or relationships, a group of people, you know, even though things are, you might be in the dark about things, I do feel as though you still have connections around you. Connections around you could be connections to people, or it could be connections to things. If you have any hobbies, there are connections that you have or that you can continue to cultivate, you know, that you can cultivate to kind of help you to make it through this transition or help you along your journey. So it might be a little difficult, but I feel like, or challenging rather, but I do feel like you are, you know, exhibiting some good emotional control. You know, because you could really be doing a lot in your situation and where you are right now, but you've been exhibiting some emotional control. Now with the Knight of Pentacles, popping up, I do think that you will be receiving some type of opportunity as well, you know, some type of opportunity, something to stand on. For some reason, I kept seeing the Ace of Pentacles too. So just knowing that like this opportunity is coming to you. But as far as with the Knight of Pentacles specifically, this is a very slow moving energy. So I can see how right now your circumstance and situation, you're just kind of like, okay, what's next? You know, it's kind of giving a what's next type of thing because you're uncertain about what you're moving towards. You know, you've experienced some type of loss. You know that loss has happened, but you don't understand what that was a sacrifice for. What was that loss a sacrifice for? Because oftentimes, like I said, when we're sacrificing something, we're sacrificing it for something better. But with us being humans, we literally do not know. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like this opportunity is going to present itself, whatever it was, this thing that is going to replace this loss is going to present itself. I think it's going to be far more substantial. You'll recover far more than what you've lost, but also understanding that this is a slower moving energy as well. So it's going to take some type of patience. So that's what I said. If you've been experiencing some good emotional control despite what's happening, just continue to keep it up. If this is something that you know that you need help with, then, you know, definitely make sure you explore some type of coping skills, effective coping strategies that you can use to help you with your emotional control, and also cultivate connections with the people that are around you, or with the things that you do have. Like if you have any hobbies or anything, try to cultivate connections with that, as opposed to just thinking like, oh, everything went to, I want to say the word, but I don't want to curse. Just like thinking that, oh, everything's such a mess and there's just nothing I can do to fix it. It's like, you can start to, engage yourself with the things that you actually really love to do, whether they be hobbies or hang out with people, spend time with people that you actually really love to hang out with, just to help you get, just to help you remain, in good spirits, in good moods. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to how will things change. And I can already see that things are changing. I can already see that there's going to be something that is going to replace this loss of what was I don't want to say what was taken from you, but sometimes it really is like just a divine plan of what had to even be removed as well. But how are things going to change? And then y'all have the strength card. And I do believe that this mishap, this betrayal, this abandonment, this loss, this disappointment that you feel is going to empower you. Like, so just understand that whatever happened is not going to break you. If anything, it's only going to be used to make you stronger. It's only going to be used to help you to feel a lot much more confident about yourself. And I feel like it's going to help you to become a different person. And like this different person that you're going to become is not momentary. I feel like this is going to be you moving forward in life. You know what I'm trying to say? So I really do feel like it's going to give you the opportunity to tap into, more of the courageous sides of your personality. So if you've ever felt like, you didn't have control in life, you do have some type of control. You do have self-control. And self-control isn't just about your emotions. Self-control is about you understanding that, like, my life is in my hands. So I feel like through the previous situation or circumstance of what you experienced, it felt like things were just kind of out of your hands. It's out of your hands. It's just nothing you could do. There's nothing you could say. You had no other option but to just move on. I feel like how things are going to change for you is going to make you feel as though you can be much more empowered to have that self-control over the things that happen to you in life, and we can't control fate and things that may be predestined, but I do believe that our free will can either help us or can hinder us. So I do feel as though you're going to be, just understanding more about your free will, more about the choices that you can make and how those choices are going to, lead you to these different down different paths, or can alter or change your life trajectory. So I do feel like you're going to be taking a lot much more pride in yourself, and seeing yourself as even more worthy and someone who can decide, someone who can make quality choices, and someone who can be in, a little more control, and a little, can have a little more control over your life, So let's see. How will things change? Sorry, y'all. I had so many cards. I've seen so many cards that I'm going to take this one, the Hermit. So I definitely do feel as though you're going to be, how will things change? Look, you're not playing games with people. I feel like you're going to feel much better about doing things on your own. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like you was put in a situation to you had no other option but to just go out on your own. You might have felt abandoned. You might feel disappointed. Something didn't work out with people or another person, some type of community. Now it's like you have to go about this by yourself. I feel like things are going to change because you're going to be a little more okay with doing things by yourself. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to be okay with it at a point in time where you might have been uncertain, didn't really know what to do. Could have even been a follower. You could have even been a follower. I feel like you're going to put yourself in a place to where you're going to be able to build up your own sense of security within yourself, and security within your abilities. But I also think it's going to come from just this time period of you, maybe having to go about this thing by yourself. It's going to give you the opportunity to get to know yourself a lot better It's also going to give you the opportunity to study, to learn, because the Hermit really, it's about, you know, uncovering some type of wisdom and knowledge, but it's self-directed. It's by your own choice. So it's by your own choosing that you would be stepping away to focus on things for yourself. It's by your own choosing, as opposed to you having to just kind of shut out and now you're just kind of out there, you know, like it's by your own choosing that you'll, you know, be focusing on solely on yourself and taking that time to yourself to learn what it is that you need to learn. But yeah, I do see that you're just gonna be so empowered within yourself. Like, it's just a lot of single energy here. Not saying like, oh, single person, but it's like just you within yourself. Like I said, just you within yourself. I know what I'm trying to say. Just you within yourself. Oh, yes. So yeah, just even more single energy as well, because we have the Four Swords. Like, you at a point in time where you would have been putting forth so much energy, like just with this community of other people, I feel like you're finally gonna feel at rest and at ease just with yourself. So maybe alone time is needed for you. Maybe that's something that, you know, is really gonna truly amaze you in life, is how much you can actually get done by yourself, you know. And it's not to say that you have to shut out other people, because as we see here, especially with the Four of Wands, it's like with the Four of Wands, it's like, you know, you're through this changing of who you are, like as you continue to evolve, and just be okay with yourself, it seems as though it's like you're not going to be completely shut off from people at all. I feel like this is only going to make you even more, what is it? For some reason I kept hearing sought after, especially with this invitation card that I see here. But it's like you're going to belong as well. So it's like, it's not feeling like if you take this time out, it's being selfish. I don't think it's you being selfish. I really think it's only you kind of focusing on yourself and taking that time that's needed. But it's actually going to help you. I feel like you're going to be a lot much more happier. I think that you're going to be glowing a lot more. I think that people are really going to want to be around the new you. So I wouldn't feel any type of way by taking this time out for yourself. I feel like it's going to be just a very transformative time period for you and the things that you want, even though they are moving slow into your life, even though they are happening a lot slowly. I do feel like it's going to pay off at the end of the day. I definitely also like the fact that you'll have the opportunity to just take the time and the rest that you need for yourself. And sometimes that's needed. Sometimes we don't know when to leave the party. Sometimes we don't know when it's time to stop doing certain things, or stop engaging with certain people, or stop going about something in a specific way, until things happen that kind of break up that pattern and really have to give us the time to focus on ourselves. So I do feel like you'll have the opportunity to do that. That's how things are going to change, and you're going to have the ability to kind of rest within yourself and really just kind of focus on your life and what's immediately going on with you. And sometimes like we have to do that, or we're going to be too caught up in other people's lives and their energy and what's going on with them, and before we know it, we haven't really made too much progress in what we're doing. So it's going to give you the opportunity to be able to do that. Okay. So what can you actually expect from this change? It seems like this energy, like I said, is like a very single type of I have to focus on myself type of energy. So let's see, you know, what can you expect from that change? Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. We have the King of Swords. And we also have the Hanged Man. I think that this change is going to it's going to do a lot of things for you. I feel like the way that your life is going to amaze you is just through your own personal strength and power that you've been able to develop by yourself in the dark. It's some type of transformation that you're going to be experiencing, and it's solely within it's within yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's within yourself. I feel like you're going to have the ability to have better boundaries for yourself. So at times in your past, where you might have felt abandoned or betrayed, I feel like you're going to be able to, you know, look back and think like, okay, I probably should have put a boundary up here, or I probably should have, you know, spoke up for myself here, or probably should have, you know, dissented here. I feel like now you'll have a better idea of how to set those boundaries for yourself, because it's showing that this betrayal or whatever it was that you experienced, or this disappointment or this feelings of abandonment, is really tied to something that hurt you. It's tied to something that, you know, really made you feel like you couldn't get through it. You know, it was tough, it was challenging, but I do feel like you'll have better boundaries. I do think that you'll be a lot much more smarter and intelligent, able to look at things for what they are, to not really get so emotionally wrapped up in these things. So something I think you might learn or tell yourself, what I just heard was mind over matter. Mind over matter. So that might, you know, resonate with you as well, but I'm hearing mind over matter. So you might feel a little bit much more daring to state your opinion, or much more daring to that's what I got with state your opinion, because I feel like a lot of y'all are going to be getting a lot smarter. So I do feel like you would develop more common sense, or just a different way of looking at things, especially with this King of Swords energy, that is going to leave you feeling more powerful as opposed to powerless. So I think that you being empowered is just how your life is really going to amaze you moving forward as well. And then we also have the Hangman. This is very much giving American Beauty. It's giving American Beauty, but not with it's no roses, but I don't know why I thought that. But for the most part, with this Hangman energy, it just kind of brings up the idea of sacrifice again that I've been speaking about. So I definitely am thankful that Spirit just kind of brought that message back up again, but it's giving up, you know, the idea of sacrifice. And I think that you're going to be more willing, or you're going to see things differently when things either leave or enter your life. I feel like you're going to have a different perspective on those things. I also feel like you may not be as impulsive or as quick to react, because the Hanged Man is kind of like an energy of like it's like, it reminds me of like the energy of like loading, like, you know, on a computer when something's loading and it's just taking its time, and you're just kind of waiting, and you're like, is this thing gonna open or not? It's given that type of energy as well. But I do think that you're not going to be as quick to come to decisions, or you're going to take your time. You're going to lean on the information, the knowledge, and the wisdom that you've received. So it just is giving someone who, you know, has the ability to, you know, see things from a different perspective, because now you have a little more education and experience when it comes to that thing. So you're definitely going to just be a little more of a knowledgeable person. I feel like you've experienced something and you didn't really understand what the purpose of that thing was, but I feel like how life is going to amaze you is just going to kind of catapult you into feeling a lot much more empowered, wanting to think, wanting to understand, as opposed to just kind of feeling like, you know, really bad emotions based off of something that was challenging. Or let me not say bad, or let me just say negative emotions based off of something that was really challenging for you. So I just see you as being just a lot much more of a smarter person. You're setting boundaries, but you're also not putting yourself in a corner either. You know, you have a lot much more self-control, a lot much more bravery, courage, a lot much more, you know, wisdom. You're going to be focusing on yourself. So it may seem as selfish to others, but I do feel as though other people are going to enjoy being around the new you. You're going to enjoy being around the new you. Like, you're going to be resting in the comfortability that, like, you are not the same, and that you have a little more self-control over directing your life in the direction in which you would like for it to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there, pile two. I definitely hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next one. All right, fam. If you chose pile three, which is the Modern Witch Tarot deck and the citrine crystal, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started with your pile. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited to be here. It seems like with the other two piles, I was just using the tarot, even though I had some oracle decks out, but it's okay. We're going to be asking, how is your life going to amaze you? So let's just see where you currently are right now. Oops. Excuse me. I had mad cards fly off the table. Let me get another card and then we'll get started reading. All right, so where you are currently is definitely a very interesting place to be. Interesting. That's the first word that really came to mind is interesting. But no, this is really your life if you resonate with this pile. So where you are currently right now is you may be feeling like there's some type of mental blockage or something that's keeping you stuck where you are. But the thing that I will say about how interesting this is because it's like, on one hand, you can perceive it as you're being stuck where you are, but on the other hand, you can also perceive it as like, this is, I don't want to say like predetermined or predestined, or this period of time and where you're in right now just may be a time of, you know, lack of action or non-action, I guess is what you can say. But the interesting thing about this is, despite the fact that you may be in this place where things may not be moving forward right now, is the fact that like you actually do have the ability within yourself to make things happen. What I just heard was like, if you don't move, your business doesn't move unless you moves, you know, unless you move, unless you moves, right? But essentially what I'm saying is that it's like things aren't going to move for you unless you move, unless you take action, unless you know, see yourself as not kind of being helpless or being seeing yourself as someone who you just have to kind of stay stuck within your current circumstance, but seeing yourself in a way in which it's like you have the power to make things move for you. And that's why I'm like, it's kind of interesting because both of these cards signify like just a lack of action or things not really progressing or moving forward. But it's like you have the choice with both of these cards. It signifies that you also have the choice to free yourself from those things. Now, I also depend on it. Also, it's interesting because it's like, on one hand, you could be feeling like there's really nothing I can do, or I really don't know what to do. But then on the other hand, it's like you could also put yourself in this place of like, even though things may not be moving forward, I can still sit here and think. You know what I'm trying to say? I can sit here and think and connect with my higher self, or connect with some type of, you know, consciousness that is going to help me, you know, and help order my steps, or help me to see which way to move forward. And then I'm going to move forward, you know? So it kind of really just depends on how you're perceiving your place in life right now and kind of what you're doing. You know, it's like, what are you doing during the wait? Are you going to sit here and be anxious, be stuck and stagnant, not want to see anything? Feel like you're trapped and bound, even though you have the resources and the tools that you need to free yourself? Or are you going to put yourself in a mind state of, you know what, this part in life right now, or whatever I'm experiencing right now in life, like, is going to give me the opportunity to think and to focus and to figure it out, you know? And then once I understand, I'm going to cut myself down, and then I'm going to continue to walk. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of depends on how you perceive yourself through this period of time. That's why I'm like, this is an Interesting card combination. It's very interesting, but it definitely all depends on what you personally are going to do. Like, and it gets to a point of you thinking about what actions you're actually going to take. So it might take you having to actually sit down and plan and stick to that plan of what you say you're going to do. Because whenever life gets like this, like where we're in the Eight of Swords energy and we're just like, don't know what to do. But you know, you're also putting yourself into this state, and it's kind of like up to you to kind of get out of your own way, you know, and to come up with a set of action steps that you can actually do that's going to help, you know, push you further to where it is that you want to go. You know, it's going to push you further to where you want to go. So I definitely do feel like where you are, it's gonna require you to have to be real with yourself. Okay, it's gonna have to force you to actually be real with yourself so that you can see the results and the changes that you want to see, you know. So it's gonna take you having to you know, maybe having to stick with things. Maybe you're someone who, if you don't like something, you're ready to go. You know, if you don't want to be somewhere, you're like, I'm just gonna leave. If you don't want to do something, you're just like, no. You know, and it's like, not to say that you're an uncooperative person, but I feel like you might make impulsive actions, or you might do things that are kind of out of its timing, or you're just kind of it's like someone who's impulsive. It's just like you're just kind of doing things but are being reactionary, but you're not really understanding you know, why. You know what I'm trying to say? You're not really understanding why. It just might be tied to some immediate satisfaction that you want in the moment, as opposed to you thinking about like, how does this decision that I'm gonna make gonna affect me down the line? Like, what are the implications of these decisions? You know, what are the implications? Like, what are the consequences of my actions? You know, I feel like this place where you are in life right now is teaching you to yes, be action based, but at the same time, I think it's going to force you to think a lot much more about your actions, about the things that you do or the things that you don't do, to really help you to see the type of, you know, success, or to see, you know, the type of results that you really do want to see in your life. You know, for y'all, I really think that you do want to do great things. I feel like you do want to be noticed. I feel like you do want to be admired by others. I think that you do want to come out of this difficult time period on top, but I also think it's going to require you to having to be honest and truthful about your actions or impulsivities, or doing things out of timing, or maybe not having a plan, you know, some good action steps that you can actually take. I think that it's going to require you to have to figure out some of those foundational things within yourself so that you can actually, you know, experience what it is that you really truly want to experience in life. So seems like that's where you currently are within yourself at this moment, especially if you resonate with this pile. But I want to look at like, how will things, you know, actually change for you, because this reading is about positive expectancy. So no matter how difficult or challenging our current circumstances might be, it's about understanding that if you're expecting for positive things, it's like these circumstances and challenges won't continue to keep you in this place of non-action, or maybe not really knowing what to do, but understanding that you actually have the power to do what you want. You know what I'm saying? You have the power to find the success that you want in life. I do think this is similar to like pile 2. It's really kind of, well, all of the piles where it's like, it's all really just about you. You know what I'm trying to say? And what you personally want. So maybe it's going to come down to you figuring out like, what do you actually truly want? You know what I'm trying to say? What is it that you actually truly want in life? And that's what it seems like it's going to come down to. But I think it's all kind of dependent on you. You might be pleasantly surprised that you actually do get what you want by having action steps and having a plan. and addressing any type of behaviors that have caused you to do things that didn't really work out for you in the end. So how will things change? Wow, this is a major energy right here with the Emperor. How will things change? It's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And you also have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I do feel like for you to even really get into this Emperor energy, which is a really strong energy, is really favorable for people who see themselves as business owners or parents or just a leader, a CEO, like whoever is in the lead position. I feel like it's going to take you, first and foremost, to come from the Eight of Swords energy to the Emperor. There's a lot of inner work that you really had to do. So I feel like life is going to give you these opportunities, if you so choose, to be able to focus on these behaviors that have set you back, and it's going to put you in a place to where now you're actually thinking. You know what I'm saying? just because we have brains doesn't mean we're always thinking. It's just mental activity that could be going on. But I feel like you're actually going to take the steps that you need to take. So whether, like I said, proper planning, you're actually going to be doing things the right way. So instead of being impulsive and reactionary, you might calm yourself down a lot much more and just stick to the plan that you set out for yourself. But I definitely do see that there is some type of working that you're going to be doing, instead of feeling like there's nothing that you can do, or you don't have control over things, or, I'm trying to say, you're just kind of stuck. I do feel like, things are going to change because your mindset is going to be significantly changed. I feel like you'll have things to work towards. I feel like there's things that you want, and you're going to be able to identify what those things are that you want. And you're going to put yourself in more of a powerful position to go out there and get those things that you want. So life is really going to transform you significantly to even come from this Eight of Swords energy to this Emperor energy. Like, there's going to be some significant transformation to put you in like a driver's seat type of position. It seems like you all are definitely going to be competing in some type of field. A lot of y'all could be doing something physical, like you could be athletes, or you could be doing business deals or negotiations, or just something. Or you could just even be looking for a new job or something, and now you just end up being promoted. You know what I'm trying to say? Or you end up getting some major promotion, or just something really major that's gonna set you so much further from where you've been. So if you identify with pile 1, you might find some similarities within that pile as well. But it's just like, whatever changes for you is really, like, I think it's just you figuring out what it is that you want. So I feel like once you identify whatever it is that you want, you'll be in more of a position to actually want to compete for that thing. You're going to be in more of a position to actually want to do whatever it takes for you to get that thing. And mind you, it's like, which if you've been experiencing some impulsive behavior or just being reactionary, that's definitely something you want to continue to check, because you can still compete and do what you have to do without manipulating, deceiving, or manipulating, deceiving, betraying, other people. You can still move around and accomplish your goals in a healthy manner that's going to work for you, but it's still going to set you forward. So I definitely do feel like in a place in where you might have felt so empowered, or you may have felt mentally stuck, I do feel like this transformation, especially when you identify what it is that you want, is going to put you more in a better position to actually think your way through this thing. So it's like your mindset is going to be changing as well, to help you to experience this success. And the thing is I feel like once you identify what it is that you want, I really do feel like things are going to move very quickly for you, because you have identified a target, and now you're just going to go after that thing. So it's given Sagittarius type of energy as well. And I mean, Sagittarius people, If you're a Sagittarius person, like Sagittarius people have I don't know, they just really successful. Like they really have this willpower to be successful. And I feel like that's something that you're going to have to really get a hold of. It's just that willpower. But I also feel like it just comes down to you identifying what it is that you want in life and setting action steps so that you can go and accomplish that thing. Because as you can see, you do have the potential to be a major player within, you know, your life, and particularly even within other people's lives. You could be a blessing as just a leader, as someone who is the word came up again, a trailblazer, as someone who is willing to go after what it is that they want. And you have so much authority in what you say because people see the results. Okay, we see the results of what you said. Like, we see the results of your labor. So that's amazing. So where you once felt like you were stuck, once you identify what it is that you want, I feel like things are definitely going to pick up a lot much more quickly for you. And I do feel like you're going to be in a more powerful position to get what it is that you want. Like, you're going to have that confidence. You're going to be smart. You know, it's going to be that masculine energy that you're really going to experience of putting yourself out there and just being action-based and solution-based. So where things was like, ooh, I don't know how this is going to turn out, I think that you're going to be in more of a powerful position to just be like, well, it's going to turn out how I want it to turn out. You know what I'm trying to say? Not just kind of taking what's there, but kind of like making your own way in a sense. And what can you expect? So we have the Tower in reverse, and I just also saw the Empress as well. Even though I didn't shuffle, we have the Tower in reverse. We have the Chariot. And I'm going to get one more card. The Tower in reverse. We have the Chariot. And we have the King of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this has to do with business. This has to do with business. It can have to do with money. But I really do feel as though there's just like, I feel like you could be a masculine, masculine, have that masculine energy. I didn't want to say just like you might be a man watching this, but yeah, I'm trying to say, because I know I have the men and women watch my channel, but it's just a lot of masculine energy here. It's like where you once was not, where things were once stagnant. I really feel like it's all up to you deciding whatever it is that you want and then going after that thing. I feel like what you can expect is like it's just a transformation within yourself. Because whenever I see the Tower card in the reverse, I read it for, it's not just external changes that could be happening, but it's also those internal changes as well. It's like a complete rebuilding of self. But I also think it's about you identifying what you want and then also understanding that you have to get out of your own way so that you can go do that. So this is the energy of someone that's just kind of getting out of their own way, and understanding the different behaviors that might set you back as opposed to help to push you forward. And you understanding that like you don't want to hinder yourself anymore. I do think that what you can expect is things to pick up a lot quickly. I see two cards here that have to do with some type of forward moving progress, some type of progression. So I definitely do think that it's going to come down to you getting onto one accord with yourself, not working against yourself, not betraying yourself, not deceiving or manipulating yourself to accept less. Because it's clearly an energy where you are, you're not 100% satisfied with where it is that you are. But I do think it's going to come down to you thinking, thinking and understanding like, if I want this thing, I have to make a way so I can go get that thing. You see what I'm saying? I have to make a way. So I do think that it's going to come down to you getting on one accord with yourself, understanding that you can actually make things happen. In a lot of these cards, I see that, these figures, in a lot of the cards, I can see in the illustrations that they're holding things. It's like this like in the Chariot card, it's a wand. That reminds me of the Magician energy. you know, an active manifestation. And then we have the swords here. That tells me a lot about, you know, taking action. That tells me a lot about using your higher faculties, you know. And then this symbol here, it just looks like it seems like power, you know. So just understanding that you have power within you that you can use to get yourself where you need to get. You have the abilities within you. You just have to see yourself as more as that. You have to identify yourself with something that you want, with something that you desire, that's going to push you to get to where you want to go. You know what I'm trying to say? It's going to push you to get there. So what is it that you really want? That's the question you could really ask yourself. And lean into that thing. Lean into that thing. You can expect to really be a completely different person. That's how life is gonna amaze you. It's gonna push you to want to act. It's gonna push you to give you this like really strong, powerful, masculine, action-based energy of going out and doing. So that's why I'm like, you could be a man watching this, because it seems like but you could also be a woman as well. And it just depending on the energies, masculine and feminine energies, you might also be very feminine energy, but to the point to where it kind of debilitates you and you don't want to kind of put things out into the world. But I do feel like life is going to amaze you, because it's going to give you this type of action-based energy that you really do need to come up with solutions to solve things, to make things happen for yourself. So that's definitely what you can expect. I definitely hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it was helpful, and I cannot wait to see y'all in the next one.